helmet here.
So when the Bank of Industry decided they were going to come on board, what did they require?
Basically, they wanted to see proof of the business I was doing, the viability in it, and whether we are able to manage the business the way we've been managing it from the day we started till date. So they required a lot of, rigorous accounting. They wanted to see, okay, if you're producing this amount, how much do you make? What are you doing with the money? What is your profit, your margins, and everything? So basically, the whole process, they went through it. It took them about 6 months to go through the books and everything before they finally came up with a strong decision and said yes, that this is a viable business, and that they now made an offer. So once the offer came through, it was now left for me to now put together, which I had been doing prior to even meeting them, the list of things I needed them to finance, i.e. the plant, the support equipment, and everything. Then I had to give them a list of the vendors. They had to go and do their own verifications. Basically, if you're buying a plant, where you're buying it from, they'll go and look for what they wanted to do. Because the things were going to be imported, they had to look for locally first to see whether is it viable to get this abroad, or do we, can we get this locally? So some of the things that we wanted to buy abroad, they were like, okay, no, we can buy them here, i.e. like the generators and some of the equipment. But overall, everything they did was pretty streamlined, and they kept on visiting the site even after the production, after the offer letters and the process was going, to make sure that yes, that we're still in business, we're still running, we're still meeting our targets, and that the business was still forthcoming.
So, as a young man, where do you see this industry go, from your own perspective?
I've been in the industry for about 4 years, and people before me have been in the industry for more than 30 to 40 years. Construction, especially roads, we still have so many roads to build. We still have so many roads to maintain. We still have so many, things to development, is an ongoing process in every economy. For the next, I don't think that Nigeria has even scratched the surface when it comes to road development, rural roads, and all those areas. There's so many areas that don't have roads. So for now, I would believe that, this business is timeless. We're probably going to be doing it, I'll probably be doing it for the next 5 years or 10 years. Somebody after me will probably take over and continue. Like, my grandfather was in construction, my father is in construction, I'm in construction. So I believe generations after us will still be here doing this. So I think, it's going to be ongoing for now.
What are your biggest challenges?
Some of our biggest challenges is government policies in some way or the other. Because most of the jobs we do are government jobs. We support the contractors. They buy from us and do their work for the government. Government sometimes tends not to be able to pay contractors on time. So they end up owing them, and they tend to try to owe us. Apart from that, our industry also needs the support of the government. For instance, 50 to 80% of the bitumen that we use in our production is imported. But we have refineries in Nigeria that produce, and we have bitumen ready in Nigeria, which the government can key towards, harvesting the bitumen ogara, and also giving allocation directly to the manufacturers. We also use LPFO, which we have to source from NNPC, from the grey market, from wherever, as well as diesel. I would have thought that the government would sort of like, say, okay, construction companies should be in the first top 3 of businesses which they would recognize when they are giving allocations for bitumen in Kaduna refinery, in any of the refineries or in NNPC. They'll say, okay, since you're a construction company, here's your allocation for bitumen, be it LPF or be it diesel. That way, we can control the prices. Because if the government is giving us bitumen at a subsidized rate, we can give the asphalt at a subsidized rate. That way, the construction companies can afford to do the jobs less and be able to do more roads and, more development.
All right, should you be in the position to change something at the bank of industry in terms of their operation and how they go about lending money, from your experience or from your perspective, what would that be?
I think, from my own experience, I think I had it very easy. And I wouldn't say that there's much to change, apart from, the only thing I would advise them is like the time of conception and approval. If there's a way they can reduce the time lag between, approval and disbursement, and also they should monitor the banks which they use, or the banks that are giving the guarantee, because sometimes we have to go through a commercial bank. I think they should be more contingent on the banks, because sometimes the banks get this money and then, they hold it. Sometimes they, make it harder for us to give us the guarantee, So I would believe those are the only 2 processes I would think they should look at. The commercial bank side of it and the time of disbursing. If they can, work on it so that it's faster and, we can get people that, apply for a loan within 6 months. They've gotten the money, they've started business. Because what happens in some cases is that because of the time lag, some of the things we actually buy or import are subject to foreign currency. So if I put in a quotation at the current rate in 2013, by the time I'm getting the money in 2014, the dollar or the euros might have gone from 220 to 250. Because in fact, I actually experienced that in my own transaction. All the things they were disbursing the money for, they disbursed at 230. But by the time the money got to me, it was 250. So for some strange reason, the money they were giving me would not be enough to cover the stuff I was going to import. But we were able to work around it, and and they ended up, still, we were still able to pull it off.
He describes the role of the Bank of Industry in this success story.
Bank of Industries has been quite helpful in this project in terms of, the way they were able to disperse the funds. They were very flexible, because in some cases they would be like, okay, I'd heard in some cases whereby Bank of Industries would say they have to be the ones to buy the material, they have to be signatories to the account, they have to, supply the things, they have to pay the vendors. But in my case, I think because they'd established that the business was very viable, they gave quite a bit of a free hand. They disbursed the money, and then they now just basically followed the progress of the project to make sure that all the things I said I was going to procure were in place. And, with that, they were quite helpful. And also, they've been able to bring us in contact with other people who are trying to set up their own industries, who they've been funding. So we can actually, you have somebody in Enugu, there's a gentleman in Enugu that does recycling of oil. He converts oil to basically condemned engine oil. He rejuvenates it and recycles it to oil. And part of what we use when we can't source gas or diesel is oil. So I was able to tap into their network of other people that are working with them to be able to, form some kind of a partnership where, okay, you have this, you do this, okay, let's, I can use your product, and also get some information from them on, how they went about fixing their plants, setting up their plants, to land issues, to, accountants, the best way to, manage your finances, And we also are open to them because they actually encourage other people to come and see what we're doing. And we also have a forum where we discuss with them and, advise them. So some people actually come and say, Bank of Industries is long-winded. I can't deal with the stress. But by the time you actually sit down and you do what you're meant to do, it pays off at the end of the day. So I have to give it to them, they know what they're doing. And they're encouraging industries.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on BOI Weekly.
Thank you.
Now you've heard it from the chief promoter of Aggregate Works here in Enugu. He produces asphalt, and he says the Bank of Industry has already shown willingness to continue to support them because the Bank of Industry has seen that it's a viable business. Yours too can be one of those that the Bank of Industry will be supporting. The very first step you need to take is visit boinigeria.com, and also to get loans from the Bank of Industry, you can also download the BOI SME loan app from the Google Play Store. And if you have questions about getting loans from the Bank of Industry or how to proceed, you can tweet at me at KAY Alliance, and I'll be there to answer all your questions. Bye-bye.
Have you ever imagined a time when you could apply for and get a loan from the comfort of your bedroom? Or prayed that the processing time was shorter? Well, it is now a reality with the fast and swift Bank of Industry real-time online loan application initiative. The BOI online loan application portal is designed to deliver access and convenience to prospecting SME customers by ensuring that applicants need not have to physically visit the bank. Applicants simply have to submit all necessary documents via the online portal with the liberty to select their preferred BOI state office wherein their applications will be processed. How it works? Simply search keyword Bank of Industry and download our mobile app from Play Store for Android users, BlackBerry App World for BlackBerry users, and Apple Store for iPhone users. Click on the Apply button. Click on Register to register your account. A verification link and tracking code will be sent to your registered email address. Click on the verification link to facilitate login. Once logged in, you can complete your application, submit, and click on Continue to start tracking your loan application. An email will be sent to your email address confirming receipt of the application. With this initiative, BOI has reduced its loan application and processing turnaround time. Start applying for your loan right away. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.